Welcome back everyone, it's Photog Lounge with a new video and an admission. The admission is that I made a big gaffe, two gaffes in fact. The first gaffe was that I think 4 or 5 days ago I did an unboxing video. A good one actually, I think. I mean, as unboxing videos go and how completely unnecessary they are anyway. I did a damn good one. And the unboxing video I did was for the lens that's attached to this camera. It's the new Artisans, 7 Artisans 35 f2 from Leica M. The next problem was that yesterday I filmed an apology video, which was, hey guys, I took this great unboxing video. The jokes were good, I was on all my lines, I was ready, no problems, and look, I've got an orange cap and all that. And then it turned out that I filmed it way too dark. I'm a noob at all this, so I gotta apologize twice now. So I'm gonna try to recreate the magic of yesterday with a blue cup, a little bit of coffee to start, and I'll try to, okay, what did I do yesterday? First thing I did was show how bad the lens cap was. Okay, the lens cap is really bad on this lens. You can see it says 7 Artisans, I believe there. It's a bit of metal. It slides over the top, just like this. In fact, why don't you check out how easily it slides down. I'm just going to pull it off like this. Just pop. I'm not applying any pressure. Jiggle it a bit, and it's installed. Which means it just falls right off. It's a horrible metal cap. It's the sort of metal cap that you wouldn't mind on maybe a jewelry box or something that is never tipped upside down. But there's a camera. It's a camera cap, a lens cap. It'll be put in your bag. And if you put it anywhere, it's just going to fall off. So if you get this lens, you are going to need to get some sort of 43mm filter mount pinch cap. And like I have a few, Canon, anyone, a lot of people have it. It's a well-known filter size, so that's good at least, but this is rubbish. The lens itself is actually pretty decent. You'll see in the test images that maybe overlay this part of the conversation, there's quite a bit of distortion, and the distortion doesn't go inward, it goes outward, and the bokeh can be a little bit, I'll say bubbly. It's not the type of bubble that you get from like those Maya optics or whatever, but the sort of bubbly that goes bubble and then shoots out from the center, almost like everything's exploding away from the object that you're focusing on, which depending on the distance and the background can be pretty distracting and ugly. The same bokeh can be soft and have wonderful soft transition depending on where you are, where you're shooting, what the background's like, and how close you are to the subject. It really depends. This is a $299 lens. It looks like one of the classic pre-bokeh king, obviously pre-aspherical Leica Zoomicrons. My favorite being the one from about 1969, which is also my favorite Zoomicron for the 50s, and I like the 90 from the same time. It's actually got a pretty decent helical on it, smooth, grinds just about as normal as you would get, as much as you would from a Leica lens of the time. Let's see if it makes a sound. Just barely. The apertures are spaced evenly from 2 all the way to 16. They don't get smaller as the aperture gets smaller. That's kind of a bonus as well. That's obviously a semi-new lens design. It's not something straight out of the 50s. So let's consider this a lens from 2018 that's designed like a lens at least from the last 50 years. So that's a plus, because there's a lot of crappy lenses that are still designed and sold in this decade that once you get to f16 and f11, it's like teet, 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 and then they get much larger as the aperture gets larger. So that's pretty nice. Another plus for this lens is that it is 6-bit coded, as you can tell here. I'm not sure what the code stands for. It's got 2 white dots on either end. We'll find out later, or someone else will find out later, someone in 4chan. I don't know why I keep saying 4chan. 4chan would never watch this review. And it's got 6 screws putting it in, or bolts, I'm sorry. So it's held together pretty well. It's a heavy lens. It's actually quite heavy. It's not as heavy, of course, as the Ultron 35 f1.7, but it's a smaller lens, and the aperture, of course, is smaller as well. The other thing you may or may not notice from this angle is that in the rangefinder mounting coupling, whatever, couple, inner brass ring, there are two small flathead screws. Those things can be used to adjust the distance of the rangefinder coupler in case your camera and your lens disagree about where they are focusing. Fortunately, this lens and my cameras appear to be perfectly synced, so no focus issues at all. Of course, when I did the unboxing video, I was like, oh, I just hope it all works out. And I put the camera, or the lens on the camera, I took a picture of the Voigtlander lens, and it turned out, and then I showed the camera, the filming camera, and I was like, woohoo! Okay, antithesis is to say, I mean, that video didn't work out, of course, so you'll see the images, how well they're focused. I've taken some images of f8, f11, and a whole bunch of f2 as well, and they'll be interspersed through this video and in the back, probably in the front, like that. The other thing I wanted to mention, actually, it's of no consequence perhaps to the group of you that are like, if it's metal, it's good, and if you're like, it's cheap, so it don't matter. And I don't know why I'm using this accent, I'm sorry about that, and that was a poor choice. But this lens cap here that comes with the lens is way better than the Voigtlander ones. The Voigtlander ones have double walls that where the inner one moves and is almost basically impossible, or ensuring that you will never get a good grip on your lens. So you put it on your lens here, and then just like this lens cap, with a bit of a shake and maybe just a tiny turn, the thing falls off. But this one, with this 7 Artisans, grips a Leica tightly, and in fact, if you turn too tight, it's actually a little bit hard to get off. It's not quite as good as the Leica ones, because the plastic is a little bit more brittle, but it's about as good as the Zeiss ones, so that's a plus for sure. I'm going to take off the much better 46mm cap of the Voigtlander. It's still horrible. I'm going to show these two lenses at infinity focus, which is here, as you can see here and here. As you can see, the Voigtlander's rear element doesn't pop through the rear of the lens as much as the 7 Artisans. That may make it a little bit, may give it, better illumination on both Leica cameras as well as non-Leica M cameras. And this one may give you more shading on the sides. It certainly has a lot of distortion. I've not done any serious testing. I've taken a couple of nice little images of it, and of course you get the samples that are on it. When you mount this thing, you'll notice also there is no red mounting dot or extruded little plastic nub that you get on the Leicas and or blue one on the Zeisses. But like this Ultron, it's a red carved or engraved little notch. The Ultra one is of course a lot nicer. This one is rather, like the lenses itself, a really high quality garage project. And the last thing I want to mention is that the feet and meter markers, as well as the scale, the distance scale, and the aperture markers are all engraved very shallowly and then filled with paint, or perhaps not filled with paint, but sort of printed over. Maybe it's filled, I don't know. But you can feel them, and they're not going to rub away like your Fujinon lenses will, where a lot of them are just printed on. Yeah, it's made, it feels like it's made well. The helicoid is good. In fact, I would say it's more impressive than the Yongnuo 60mm that I unboxed last week. It's a hefty little lens. It works really great on the Leica M body. By the way, let's take a photograph of the Fujifilm. Let's see if we can get a good one here. Ah, I didn't put a card in here. I can't say mea culpa. I'm brand new at this YouTube thing. Been doing it for a year. I'm totally not brand new, but I'm obviously not exactly professional at this, so I'm going to work harder on this. Please stick around if you want to see some more. I'll do some more videos about this lens, as well as the Yongnuo, and of course I'm still working on the Fujifilm X-H1 versus SL I got 2 more videos coming up. One about autofocus, where the bloody hell. The Fujifilm completely destroys the Leica SL in tracking. Of course, the Leica is faster in single point. And when it comes to image quality, there really isn't much comparison between the two. I know that certain people on the internet say the APS-C is just as good as full frame, or there's even some people that will put a full frame like a Sony a7 III versus an XH1, misfocus them either purposely or not on purpose, and then put those results up and say that the Sony sucks, where you can see on deep review those exact studio replications. Anyone can look at them and see that they're just as sharp as each other. Well, still, sharpness or not, a full frame is generally going to get a little bit better performance in low light, and the Leica SL is better than the Fujifilm, and it captures way more detail where it counts. Same with the Sony. Whatever. Those videos are coming up. In the meantime, I just wanted to put this up, a little ditty, just to show you that I'm still working, and I will try to keep up with all of your thumbs up and thumbs down and your comments. Of course, I'll reply to the really bad ones and the really good ones, and I appreciate both of them. So please leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, comment if you can, and I appreciate it. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.